Welcome to Inspire Learning College. This is the assignment worksheet for the Qualify Level 3 Diploma Communication for Health and Social Care with the unit number H6153824. So this is the file where you have to complete your assignment, but make sure that you provide us your complete name, your ID and assignment submission date. Okay, so filling this learner declaration form is also necessary for you. So make sure that you fill this form by providing your name and signature over here. Here is the table of the content under which all the learning outcome and assessment criteria of the unit are provided to you. Now, before properly starting the assignment, what you need to do is you have to provide a brief introduction to the assignment in which you can discuss like what is the purpose of your assignment. You can also explain the structure of your assignment as well, but make sure that you discuss this introduction within 150 words. Now, here comes the learning outcome 1. Under this learning outcome, the assessment criteria 1.1 is describe the methods used to communicate in health and social care sector. Now, you have to describe what are the different communication methods that can be used in health and social care. For this, you can consider discussing use of different verbal and non-verbal communication methods. You can also explain like how and when to use different communication methods while working in different care settings. Whereas for assessment criteria 1.2, first of all, you need to identify what formal and informal communication methods are. Then you need to assess the strengths and weaknesses of using these formal and informal communication methods. For assessment criteria 1.3, you need to explain what are the principles, what are the rules, what are the guidelines that can be used for making the communication more effective, more understandable for the service users. For the assessment criteria 1.4, you need to explain the potential barriers that are preventing an individual from communicating. And you also have to explain the strategies that can be used to overcome these barriers that are preventing individuals from communicating within health and social care sector. Now, this is the learning outcome 2, under which for the assessment criteria 2.1, you have to explain the different methods of oral and written communication methods. Now, for the assessment criteria 2.2, where you have to produce an oral presentation, 2 topics are provided to you. One is emotional health and its importance. The second one is obesity and diabetes. Now you can choose any of the topic for making the presentation. First of all, you have to prepare a PPT, then you have to present that PPT as well. And while submitting your assignment, you have to upload your PowerPoint presentation and your oral presentation as well in the assignment submission slot. Whereas for the assessment criteria 2.3, where you have to produce a written communication. Now, what does it mean? Like you have to simply create a care plan for fever or pneumonia. And you also have to explain the purpose of your written assignment, like why you are writing this communication, why are you making this care plan, including all the necessary details relevant to the illness like fever or pneumonia. So here is the learning outcome 3. For the assessment criteria 3.1, you have to assess like why and how the use of ICT is beneficial for the organization, as well as why the use of ICT is unfavorable for the organization. For the assessment criteria 3.2, you have to explain what are the potential benefits and hazards of using ICT for the service users. Now, how can you discuss this criteria? Like you can say the use of ICT for service user is beneficial because it can increase or enhance their accessibility towards the care. So this is a benefit for the service user, the use of ICT. And in terms of hazard, you can discuss like using ICT as the service users' personal information can be misused or it can be traced. So these are the hazards that are associated with the use of ICT. So you can consider these points while discussing this specific criteria. Now, coming towards the assessment criteria 3.3, in which first of all you have to understand what data protection is and how the data protection regulations can be implemented within health and social care sector. And you also have to explain what are the issues that are relevant to the data protection if an organization has a lot of data relevant to their service users. So what issues they face relevant to the protection of their service users data. Once you provide sufficient information relevant to all the assessment criteria, you have to provide a short and brief conclusion to the assignment as well. In this, you can summarize the main ideas or the key concepts of your whole assignment within 150 words. Now here comes the last section of your assignment, which is bibliography, in which you have to provide the references of all the sources that you use for collecting the information for your assignment. So make sure you provide these references in a proper Harvard referencing style. So this is the end of assignment worksheet for the unit Communication for Health and Social Care. I hope that all the guidelines that are discussed in this worksheet are helpful for you. Thank you so much.